Hey guys, it's December and that means New Year's is fast approaching, and I want to talk to you guys today about the right way to make art-related resolutions, to set art-related goals, because now is the time when people are thinking about doing that and are starting to write them down. So keep watching. So I think most of us as artists or aspiring artists or hobbyist artists make art-related goals as part of our New Year's resolutions. And I think a lot of those art-related goals are often dependent on outsiders, people who are not us. And something we need to remember when we're setting goals is we cannot control other people. We can't control how they're going to react. We can't control what they're going to like or dislike. So if you set goals based on impressing others, you're setting yourself up for failure because you can give it your best, but you can't control what comes from that. So if you want to successfully or if you want to set goals that you can actually achieve, that you can actually control, the first step is to set goals that you have control over. Don't set viewer goals, don't set subscriber goals, don't set likes goals, retweets, reblogs. Don't use those as your metric for success. Another thing we do is we often try to bite off more than we can chew. We set these large, grandiose goals where we may not have any experience. For example, if you're interested in starting a webcomic, you may decide that your goal this year is to finally get to writing and drawing that massive epic, that multi-universe, multi-world webcomic epic inspired by Homestuck that you've been planning for the past 4 years. That is a huge goal, that is a noble goal, but maybe that is not a good goal to set if you've never drawn a comic before. A more reasonable comic goal would be to start with maybe doing daily diary comics for as long as you sustainably can, maybe doing a 12-page mini comic that is self-contained, or maybe doing some cute 4-coma comics. All of those are goals that you can achieve. They're bite-sized, attainable goals that will help you build confidence, learn new skills, and show yourself what you're capable of and what your work schedule looks like. Another goal along that lines is I'm going to learn a new skill this year. This year I'm going to learn how to watercolor. And we go and we look at all these artists who do watercolor, people we really admire, and we decide our art is going to look like that. That's not possible in a year. Even if you are a wonderful digital artist, to decide that your watercolor is going to look as good as someone who's been doing watercolor for 5 years, 10 years, that's just not a feasible goal. A better goal is I'm going to start doing watercolor exercises this year. I'm going to follow along with some tutorials. I'm going to learn some techniques. I'm going to become familiar with the material, and I'm going to start researching this thing that I like, rather than going out and sinking a bunch of money in supplies you don't understand and maybe aren't the right supplies for you, and then setting these mile-high expectations of what you're comfortable with and capable of without doing the research, without looking at tutorials, without reading any books, without talking to any watercolor artists. And I'm just using watercolor as an example of something that is very attainable, but people think it's easier than it is. And it tends to be a very popular New Year's goal. Like for digital people, it's I'm going to learn traditional, and for traditional people, it's I'm going to learn digital. And those are such huge goals. It's better if you can break them down into succinct parts, actionable parts, and pursue it like that. Other goals that are noble but maybe out of reach for most artists who are hobbyists, or they have limited time, or they're very new to art, is like, I'm going to do the 600-page challenge in a month. Whereas something that's more sustainable might be, I'm going to do daily warm-ups, and I'm going to draw from reference before I get started every day. Those are reasonable, sustainable goals that do have measurable difference. They add up, they make a difference in your life, they make a difference in your art. Or maybe you've decided you want to be more sociable this year. You want to do better at networking. And that one is tough because I know a lot of us who are artists, we work alone. We're not used to talking to other people. We're not necessarily comfortable with sharing our work. So we kind of dive in the deep end. And we start posting our art, but we don't necessarily engage other artists. And like I said in the beginning, you can't control how other artists are going to react. So A goal maybe for this year is recontextualizing your expectations for your own work and for how you're going to engage other artists. So if your goal this year is I want to be more sociable, I want to be friends with more artists, I want to talk to more artists, rather than just posting your art and expecting other people to come to you, maybe you can post your art and also engage other artists about their work. I have found that talking to the artists love talking about their work when they can tell you sincerely enjoy their work and you sincerely care. And sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to get past that boundary, but once they see that you are genuinely interested in them and the work that they do, and that you don't expect anything out of them, you don't expect them to answer your questions, you don't expect them to tell you all their materials, you don't expect them to teach you or draw for you for free, many of them will take a look at your work of their own accord. Again, you can't force people to do this, but people do get curious and they do show interest in other people, and sometimes it takes a little while. So don't judge your value or your success as an artist this year based on their responses. You gotta kind of do a lot of fishing. You gotta compliment and engage a lot of artists, throw yourself out there, and maybe some will respond and maybe some won't, but that is not a criticism on you or your work or anything like that. It's just that if you're shy, it stands to reason that other artists are going to be shy too and maybe hesitant to engage with people they don't know. So don't take that too personally. So what? We've talked about 3 very common New Year's goals. I'm going to learn a new skill this year. I'm going to draw my epic comic this year. I'm going to be more popular this year. Let me know in the comments down below what your goals for next year are, especially your art goals. And I'll do a video later this year about what my New Year's resolutions for 2018 are regarding my art and regarding this channel. So I hope this was helpful and inspiring to you guys. I hope this will help you set reasonable goals that you can act on. And I hope when I share my New Year's goals, it inspires you guys to set reasonable, sustainable, actionable art goals this year. So thank you guys so much for watching this little vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye guys!